Well, hi, everybody. Shalom. This is Laura Lee bringing to you Mercy Poured Forth. So, interesting times we're living in. And we are going to hopefully make this broadcast to the end. This is like take 15. So, my guess is somebody really needs to hear this because I've had a time and a half trying to record this. For those of you that are not familiar with me, my name is Laura Lee. I'm a modern day Samaritan woman, and I do a podcast called Healing for the Nations with the Modern Day Samaritan Woman for Hebrew Nation Radio. And I've been doing that for about 5 years. And so this platform is very different for me, and I feel very clumsy. So please give me grace. So the last couple of weeks, we've been going over step 1, admitting that we were powerless over fill in the blank in our lives have become unmanageable. So we're going to move into step 2, restore to sanity from confusion to clarity. And for those that don't know me, my background is as a substance abuse counselor, but also as a recovery coach. I've been walking out my own recovery for approximately 30 years. And my moment of clarity, a deeper clarity, is when I found out that I was actually suffering from complex post-traumatic stress. So I really like the saying that says, the question is not what the heck is the matter with you. The question is what happened? What happened? And so once we have that paradigm shift from, what is wrong with me to what happened? What happened to me? What is my story? And so a lot of us have come into this walking out Torah, and we're seeing that we are a mess and we need help. And so I'm hoping and praying that this particular show, and all the shows, of course, on the steps, will bring you some clarity. And so I'm hoping that the PowerPoint presentation will roll smoothly. So let's get started because I have a lot that I want to share with you. So I am really clumsy with this. So let's see if we can get started here. So step by step, step 2, restore to sanity from confusion to clarity. As we walk through these next few weeks, looking at the 12 steps of recovery, we will look at scriptures along with research on childhood trauma, gaining clarity of its impact, not only on our own lives and families, but on the body of Messiah. May Yah give wisdom and insight into how we can overcome by the blood of the Lamb and our own testimony of deliverance from generational curses. So let's march forward. So step 2 is a step of hope. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. So we're going to be looking at came to, believe, power greater than could restore sanity. So I don't know if you've ever heard this, but active alcoholics don't wake up in the morning after a bender. They come to. And these poor guys are definitely passed out. So we're coming to see a different way of viewing our lives. As we attempt to walk in his ancient ways, we are seeing him with greater clarity. In step 2, we are gaining clarity. We are seeing the lies we inherited from our fathers. And those lies can be on so many different levels, can they not? 1 Thessalonians 2:13 Another reason we regularly thank Yah is that when you heard the word of Yah from us, you received it not merely as a human word, but as it truly is, Yah's word, which is at work in you believers. Matthew 28:18. Yeshua came and told his disciples, I have been given all authority in heaven and on earth. Hebrews 2:18. For because he himself has suffered when tempted, he is able to help those who are being tempted. 1 Peter 3:22. So he has gone into heaven and is at the right hand of Yah, with angels, authorities, and powers having been subjected to him. He, Yahushua, and Yahuwah are the higher powers. There is no other. So he could and would if he were sought. Deuteronomy 4:29. But if from there you will seek Yah, you will find him, if you seek him with all your heart and with all your soul. Jeremiah 29:13. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. According to the Collins Online Dictionary, restored to sanity means a person's sanity is their ability to think and behave normally and reasonably. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. Are we doing this within the Torah community, in our own lives, or in our families' lives? So the KJV, this is just a little glance at Strong's H7725. Return, recover, restore, to return, to turn back, to return, come, or go back, to restore, refresh, repair. So you get the idea of what it is, turning back and being restored and recovering. So we need not just our sanity restored. We need clarity. We need to see the big picture. We must come out of the fog. You never realized how thick your fog was until it lifted. And again, because I really love this, you never realized how thick your fog was until it lifted. So leadership needs clarity, not confidence. Confidence without clarity can be disastrous. And I think we're seeing evidence of leadership around the world where we have a lot of leaders that do not have clarity. And we're seeing a lot of disasters, both politically and in the religious realm and within our own messianic communities. Let's take a closer look. So I prefer adult children, alcoholics, and dysfunctional families support because it's a lot different than AA or NA or even Al-Anon. In ACA, we look at the post-traumatic stress and we look at what was handed down through the generations and how it's impacting us in the here and the now. And it's all about taking responsibility for our own lives and exploring how we're walking out the dysfunction and learning the tools and how to apply the tools to our lives, learning how to love ourselves and learning how to have a healthy relationship with ourselves, with our higher power, with our creator, and also with other people. So Tony A's 12 steps. We admitted we were powerless over the effects of living with alcoholism, and their lives had become unmanageable. Step 2 is we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could bring us clarity. So Tony A's overarching concern about using the AA steps as written is that adult children experienced abandonment and victimization early in life, and therefore they live lives based on shame and fear, which can be the driving force of addiction. So Tony A explains that we cannot be restored to a sanity we never experienced. Our parents modeled a higher power we couldn't trust. We are the victims, not the perpetrators of the abuse we experienced as children. Shame and guilt keep us from loving and accepting ourselves. Adult children should not be directed to make amends to dangerous people. So we're going to take a little snapshot. Today, we're not going to go over the problem, the solution, the laundry list, and am I an ACA because of time. But we are going to look at the question, am I an ACA? So maybe this will give you some clarity. So the following questions will help you decide if alcoholism or other family dysfunction existed in your family. If your parents did not drink, your grandparents may have drank and passed on the dis-ease of family dysfunction to your parents. If alcohol or drugs were not a problem, your home may have been chaotic, unsafe, and lacking nurture like many alcoholic homes. The following questions offer an insight into some ways children are affected by growing up with a problem drinker even years after leaving the home. The questions may apply to adults growing up in homes where food, sex, workaholism, or ultra-religious abuse occurred. Foster children, now adults, relate to many of these questions. 1. Do you recall anyone drinking or taking drugs or being involved in some other behavior that you now believe could be dysfunctional? 2. Did you avoid bringing friends to your home because of drinking or some other dysfunctional behavior in the home? 3. Did one of your parents make excuses for the other parent's drinking or other behaviors? 4. Did your parents focus on each other so much that they seemed to ignore you? 5. Did your parents or relatives argue constantly? 6. Were you drawn into arguments or disagreements and asked to choose sides with one parent or relative against another? 7. Did you try to protect your brothers or sisters against drinking or other behavior in the family? 8. As an adult, do you feel immature? Do you feel like you are a child inside? 9. As an adult, do you believe you are treated like a child when you interact with your parents? Are you continuing to live out a childhood role with the parents? 10. Do you believe that it is your responsibility to take care of your parents' feelings or worries? Do other relatives look to you to solve their problems? 11. Do you fear authority figures and angry people? 12. Do you constantly seek approval or praise, but have difficulty accepting a compliment when one comes your way? 13. Do you see most forms of criticism as a personal attack? 14. Do you overcommit yourself and then feel angry when others do not appreciate what you do? 15. Do you think you are responsible for the way another person feels or behaves? 16. Do you have difficulty identifying your feelings? 17. Do you focus outside yourself for love or security? 18. Do you involve yourself in the problems of others? Do you feel more alive when there is a crisis? 19. Do you equate sex with intimacy? 20. Do you confuse love and pity? 21. Have you found yourself in a relationship with a compulsive or dangerous person and wonder how you got there? 22. Do you judge yourself without mercy and guess at what is normal? 23. Do you behave one way in public and another way at home? 24. Do you think your parents had a problem with drinking or taking drugs? 25. Do you think you were affected by the drinking or other dysfunctional behavior of your parents or family? If you answered yes to 3 or more of these questions, You may be suffering from the effects of growing up in an alcoholic or other dysfunctional family. So those are some questions that you can ponder. So the mind says move on, and the heart says hold on. Be still and know that He is Yah. Be still and sit at His feet. Let Him reveal to you those areas where you are bleeding from wounds that need His tender touch. He heals the wounds of every shattered heart. Psalm 147:3. The clarity of purpose trumps knowledge. Head knowledge does not equal recovery. So the affirmation of the day is clarity has replaced my confusion. Faith has replaced my fear. Focus has replaced my doubt. Potential has replaced my pain. Thriving has replaced my lack, and all is well. The Lord is near the brokenhearted. He saves those crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Jehovah bless you and keep you. Jehovah make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Jehovah lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So I hope and I pray that you have been blessed today. And I hope to see you next week as we continue down the road of recovery. Shalom.